Sydney Sweeney has always been one of those actresses who seems to wear her heart on her sleeve, effortlessly blending vulnerability with the kind of poised confidence that makes her a standout in Hollywood. At just 27 years old, she's already carved out a niche for herself with roles that demand both emotional depth and unapologetic authenticity, from her breakout performance in Euphoria to her nuanced portrayals in films that challenge the status quo. But beyond the red carpets and scripted lines, Sweeney has a way of peeling back the layers of her public persona to reveal the raw human elements that connect her to her audience. In a recent interview that captured the essence of this openness, she sat down for a candid exchange that delved into the quieter corners of her life, those fears and desires that linger in the shadows of fame. It was during a light-hearted yet probing round of quick-fire questions, hosted by none other than Amanda Seyfried, that Sweeney didn't just answer. She laid bare a truth that resonates universally. Her deepest fear is the solitude that can creep in when the spotlights dim. Imagine the scene, a cozy, intimate setting where the air hums with the subtle energy of shared stories, and two women who have navigated the treacherous waters of celebrity sit across from each other, armed with nothing but honesty. Seyfried, known for her own grounded approach to stardom, tossed out the question almost playfully, "What's the one thing that keeps you up at night?" Without a pause, without the rehearsed deflection that so many in their position might employ, Sweeney locked eyes and said it plainly: being alone. It wasn't a dramatic revelation, nor was it whispered as if it were a shameful secret. Instead, it landed like a quiet confession in a confessional booth, freeing and profound in its simplicity. In that moment, the Euphoria star transformed from the glamorous figure we see on magazine covers into someone achingly relatable, a young woman grappling with the same existential dread that visits us all in our most unguarded hours. Being alone, for Sweeney, isn't just about physical isolation. It's the emotional void that fame can paradoxically amplify. The constant movement, the revolving door of co-stars and collaborators, the ephemeral thrill of applause, it all builds a life that looks endlessly connected on the surface, but beneath it, there's the nagging whisper of what happens when the crowd disperses and the silence settles in. This admission didn't emerge in a vacuum. Sweeney's personal life has been a whirlwind of transitions lately, each one a testament to her willingness to embrace change rather than cling to the familiar out of fear. Just months earlier, in March, she had made the difficult decision to end her engagement to Jonathan Davino, a move that sent ripples through tabloid waters and prompted speculation about what lay ahead for the rising star. Davino, a fixture in her world for years, represented a chapter of stability amid the chaos of her career ascent. Their relationship had been one of those low-key Hollywood romances, private dinners, supportive glances at premieres, the kind of partnership that allowed her to focus on her craft without the glare of constant scrutiny. But as Sweeney has hinted in past reflections, growth often requires letting go, and ending that engagement was her way of honoring her evolving self. It wasn't about bitterness or regret, it was about recognizing that the paths they were on had begun to diverge, and forcing them to converge would only stifle the potential for something more aligned with who she was becoming. Enter the summer of 2025, a season that unfolded like a plot twist in one of her own films. In June, Sweeney found herself at the opulent wedding of Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez in Venice, a spectacle of excess and elegance where the elite of entertainment and business mingled under the Italian sun. The event was a glittering affair, with guests arriving by private yacht and the air thick with the scent of fresh orchids and aged champagne. It was here, amid the toasts and the twinkle of fairy lights strung across ancient canals, that Sweeney first crossed paths with Scooter Braun in a way that felt charged with possibility. Braun, the music mogul whose name is synonymous with shaping the careers of global icons, has long been a force in the industry, known for his sharp instincts and unyielding drive. Their initial interaction was unassuming, a shared laugh over a past hors d'oeuvre, a fleeting conversation about the surreal beauty of the venue, but it ignited a spark that neither could ignore. By July, whispers of romance had begun to circulate, fueled by paparazzi shots of the pair in deep discussion at a discreet cafe overlooking the lagoon, their heads bent close as if guarding a shared secret. Media reports painted a vivid picture of Braun's pursuit, describing him as utterly captivated from that first encounter. Obsessed was the word thrown around in insider circles, not in the creepy, invasive sense, but in the all-consuming way that true infatuation can grip someone who's seen it all. Braun, no stranger to high-stakes negotiations, approached this personal venture with the same intensity he brings to boardrooms, thoughtful gestures, late-night calls that stretched into dawn, invitations to low-pressure outings that allowed Sweeney to breathe easy in his company. For her part, Sweeney has always valued partners who see beyond the actress to the woman beneath, and Braun's world-weary wisdom seemed to offer just that. Their budding connection isn't without its complications. The age difference, the overlapping circles of fame, the inevitable scrutiny from fans and foes alike, all of these add layers to what could have been a simple summer fling. Yet, in the midst of it, Sweeney's confession about fearing loneliness takes on even greater weight. Here she is, stepping into a new romance that promises excitement and companionship, all while confronting the terror of what it might mean to be truly, profoundly alone if it falters. Delving deeper into her psyche, Sweeney's fear isn't born from a place of fragility but from a profound self-awareness. She's spoken before about how her career, as exhilarating as it is, often feels like a gilded cage. The long hours on set, the travel that blurs days into a montage of hotel rooms and airport lounges, the pressure to maintain an image that never cracks, it all conspires to make genuine connections feel like rare gems. In Euphoria, her character Rue navigates a labyrinth of addiction and isolation, mirroring in subtle ways the actress's own brushes with emotional desolation. Sweeney has credited the role with forcing her to confront her vulnerabilities head-on, turning what could have been performative angst into a cathartic exploration. And now, in this interview, that same thread weaves through her words. Being alone, she elaborates in the conversation's aftermath, isn't merely about lacking a partner. It's the absence of those quiet, affirming moments, the shared silences after a tough day, the inside jokes that build over time, the simple act of someone knowing your coffee order without asking. In a life where superficial interactions abound,